King Kong is standing in front of Godzilla, and Reptile King tells all his companions to surround King Kong, and Godzilla and Reptile King also attacks. Now all the attacks of Reptile King go towards King Kong and Godzilla, and King Kong is also ready to stop them. If King Kong was a baseball player, he would never have lost. Now the Reptile King, who is now very angry, uses all his reptiles to attack Godzilla and King Kong. Reptile now surrounds them both by refractive attacks all around. Reptile King now attacks them with multiple venomous attacks, but still King Kong reflects all this attacks, but just one to say, I don't have the whole day to see all this thing. Do one attack and end the game. Now King Kong becomes very angry and comes in his rage mode, then uses his power, turns all the attacks to the other side, and is able to do it with great speed. And seeing this, Godzilla cannot believe that King Kong really has so much power, and is so skillful, but the one who is Reptile, is not going to stop, and attacks are being done on direct attack. Then after that Godzilla says, that all the attacks that turn directly towards them, with great speed, with all the attacks King Kong turns them like a direct head on the Reptile King, but still there is no difference on that reptile and turns the attack back. But Godzilla tells King Kong to keep refractory all the attacks you have, and this reptile is also keeping it continuous, with all the attacks. Also now Godzilla and King Kong has become angry, and also King Kong is a female, so her anger is on the seventh sky. Now it's King Kong versus Reptile has started. Then suddenly Godzilla is about to use his explosive breath from behind, and does that, by which the attack that becomes very dangerous. It direct towards Reptile King and gives him a dangerous hit, which makes him fall very far, and half of his legs are completely destroyed, which makes King Kong very happy. And now Godzilla also attitude comes in, but Reptile King is still not going to stop. He prepares to attack again. When Godzilla sees this, Godzilla starts running away from here with King Kong, and says that now my explosive have a breath, I can't use more. Little one, I can use this attack only 2 to 3 times a day, so now we should run from here. After seeing King Kong and Godzilla run away from this place, Reptile King starts running after these two. Today he does not want to let these two go back alive, so now all his reptiles follow them and start stopping them, but both of them get out of that cave. The Reptile King also comes out behind them, and as soon as the Reptile King comes out, King Kong brings her foot in the middle, due to which the Reptile King falls directly outside. After that King Kong and Godzilla stand in the mouth of that cave and say, you are not going to escape from here. Whatever your power was, it was very much inside that cave, but now you will not be able to escape here, because it is open sky. The Reptile King gets very angry and makes a very loud roar, because of which, all his fellow reptiles start coming out of the cave. King Kong and Godzilla was surprised to see this. After all, how are they coming out? Now all the reptiles come out. After that they go to their Reptile King, and the Reptile King consumes all the power of all these and regenerates his leg. Godzilla is completely surprised to see that it can regenerate. Even Godzilla cannot do it. Now Godzilla is not able to understand what he will do now. At the same time, the Reptile King has declared war. King Kong and Godzilla have stopped at one place. Reptile King make an attack on both of them, but Godzilla says that King Kong, you turn all his attacks back to him. After all the attacks, King Kong sends them back with one hit. Godzilla is very happy to see this, because now both of them are in an open place, due to which, Reptile King's attack is not going to come back by roaming around on King Kong and Godzilla. Seeing this, Reptile King starts eating its companions. When King Kong and Godzilla see it, they confused. After all, it is his own companions. Godzilla is thinking, as all the reptiles are also easily going directly inside the mouth of this reptile on their own free will, and this reptile also eating them with great pleasure. Now this problem is increasing, because if this continues like this, then it will be very difficult for both of them to defeat the Reptile King. Will they both be able to fight? Godzilla says that King Kong, we have to stop this Reptile King by any means. We will be in a lot of trouble. This enraged Godzilla moves towards him, and at the same time King Kong also moves to make a strong attack. But Reptile King was also ready to attack and at the same time dodges King Kong attack and jumps away. starts doing his attack and makes his attack on King Kong. But King Kong is able to stop all his attacks, but it's a dangerous attack, which is his defense breaks it. King Kong gets very surprised to see attack takes place on King Kong and Godzilla gets very angry. He directly moves towards that Reptile King, and Reptile King attacks Godzilla, but Godzilla start rolling himself to avoid the attack of that Reptile King. He starts going towards him, and at the same time he makes use shield of all the small reptiles, so that whatever Venom's attack is, it will have no more effect on Godzilla. He is avoiding all those Venom's attacks. King Reptiles is very surprised to see this thing. We see Godzilla, who has come in his completely different look, and says, "Do you like my new hairstyle? I am looking very handsome, and this is my defense, so that I can tell you all I will survive the attack very comfortably." Now Reptile King attacks Godzilla, but his attacks do not have much effect on Godzilla, so that, now this Reptile King starts getting very angry. His attack is not doing much work on Godzilla, but still Godzilla is able to avoid his attack with great difficulty, because the speed of Reptile King's attack has increased very much, just like a bullet. Then Godzilla with great speed is bearing the attack of that Reptile King, so that Reptile King gets holes in his body and he falls far away. After that, Godzilla direct attacks on one of his legs, bites him and separates his leg from his body. Now he is about to use his explosive breath and directly uses his explosive breath on that Reptile King, so that many of his legs are cut off, and now this Reptile King is in a lot of trouble, and Godzilla seeing this becomes overjoyed, because Godzilla won 75% of the battle. Then the Reptile King calls out to all his comrades and calls them to him and starts eating them again. Then it will regenerate itself again, so that it will become very difficult for us, but I will not let this happen. I will attack it continuously, so that it automatically could not regenerate. I will kill it quickly. Now he is moving fast to attack this Reptile King, but this Reptile King is also ready to attack, but Godzilla is not going to stop. He also moves to attack. Reptile King does a huge attack, and really use that attack direct to Godzilla, which is huge. When Godzilla sees this, he says, "How can this creature release such a dangerous attack on him? How can I make him stop this attack? We'll have to block." But it is too difficult for Godzilla to block it, so he calls King Kong and tell her to help him. King Kong says, "Just you wait a while, I am coming." King Kong also comes to stop that attack, and helps Godzilla, but this only hurts Godzilla more. But both are able to stop this attack with great difficulty. Then after that, Godzilla is about to use his explosive breath, happens and charges himself, uses his explosive breath which falls directly on this Reptile King. That's where the game ends for this Reptile King. After seeing this, Godzilla is very happy and also completely tired. He says that finally it is over, but Godzilla is feeling very hungry, and at the same time King Kong says that my brother is really very great. And only then some plants are seen in front of him which are looking very strange.